I'm not even supposed to be here. I'm just crewman number 6. I'm expendable. I'm the guy in the episode who dies to prove how serious the situation is. I've got to get out of here.
Guy.
Oh, I still remember the moment I saw that movie for the first time in the theater. Century 16, State Street. Probably first showing on Friday because that's what me and Jeremy would always do.
Or Saturday.
Generally, at least when
If it was the summer.
If it was the summer, it was always, the
Friday
first
morning.
Friday morning. And it was just one of those like, this is going to be okay, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I watched it. I'm like,
That's
this
hilarious.
is glorious.
Oh, for those who don't know, it's Galaxy Quest.
Yes.
That's a great movie. I like, Tim Allen in there, Alan Rickman.
The whole cast was
even
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver. I didn't know who Guy was at that time.
No, neither did I.
Sam Rockwell.
Yeah. I feel like in the 90s, like he was one of those guys that just popped up into movies like here and there, like, oh, it's that guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I think it's probably one of my favorite performances by Monk.
Oh yeah.
Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
I just call him Monk.
It's like, yeah. They're telling me that like the engines, they can't handle it. And we're all gonna die.
It turned inside out. And then it exploded. Oh, that's a good show.
Also, Justin Long. I don't know if you said that, but
no, I didn't. I was thinking it, but
I mean, it's so neat to find out that he is actually like a super, super nerd, and like that is kind of like Will Wheaton. Like Will Wheaton, he lived his dream, being a super nerd, being on his favorite show on Star Trek: The Next Generation, and then he was able to live that, and then you find out that Justin Long is also a super nerd and just enjoyed being that character.
Yeah. That's great.
All right. Well, welcome to the Utterly Useless Podcast, the only podcast by Grabthau's Hammer, by the sons of Warvan, you shall be avenged. Across from me, as long as there is injustice, whenever a Targathian baby cries out, wherever a distress signal sounds among the stars, we'll be there. This fine ship, this fine crew. Never give up and never surrender. Our commander, the Jason Nesmith of the pod, Jeremy.
Thank you.
To my left, a man that will fix your sticky doors with a can of WD-40. A man that enjoys some space traveling goo. A man that knows how to deliver bad news in a calm manner, like, hey guys, I just wanted you to know that the reactors won't take it. The ship is breaking apart and all that. Just FYI, the chief engineer, Fred Kwan of the podcast.
Yes.
Brett.
Yes.
I don't think I realized his name was Fred Kwan. See, I can watch a whole movie and not know any single character's name.
Lastly, I once played Richard III. I was an actor once. An actor. There were 5 curtain calls. Now look at me. Look at me. I won't go out and say that stupid line one more time. By Grabthau's Hammer. What a savings. It's the Sir Alexander Dane of the podcast. Timmy.
I guess,
All right.
I gotta say bravo on
Yes.
that.
Very good. That was very good. You went above and beyond the introductory duty.
Yeah. You make me look bad because I don't prepare that much at all.
In my defense, this was like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
So I prepare it way early.
Oh, okay. Good on you.
All right. So let's move on to...
All right, merit badges. What do we got?
All right, I'll go first this week. This week, my merit badge, I had a hard time coming up with a name for it. And so I settled with weaponized laundry merit badge.
Ooh. Oh, how can you weaponize laundry?
All right. So last week, we have a laundry machine, a dryer that is fairly newer, on the newer side. And there was a light that came on that said clear vents. And so I've been putting it off for a couple weeks until finally I decided, okay, I need to pull out the dryer and clean out the lint
Mm-hmm.
in there to clear it. And so because I've heard of stories of things lighting on fire and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it today. And so I took one of our old vacuum cleaners with the hose and tube, and I pulled out the unit and I sucked out as much of the lint as I possibly could. That metal coil,
Mm-hmm.
straightened it up, got out as much as I could, and then I took the hose and put it inside the underneath the dryer unit, so the heat goes down and underneath. And I kept hearing things come out, so there must have been a clog of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, I hear a thunk, and I turned off the vacuum, and I didn't know what it was. I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
What would make that possible sound? And so I turned it off. I opened up the vacuum, and I pull out this wad of lint, what looks like lint. And my wife is holding it, and then she clearing it out and sees a beak.
A beak.
A beak.
Wow.
And it turns out it was a bird's head.
Whoa.
Wow.
And she freaks out and throws it on top of the washer and runs out of the room.
That's funny.
So apparently our laundry is smelling so good to birds that they're willing to die for it.
They're willing to die.
So we found a bird's head inside of our dryer.
Where did the rest of it go?
That is what we're trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out if it just got because maybe the bird's body or something was so small, or I don't know. I have no idea, but I cleaned out the inside. I was scraping with the vacuum, and the only thing there was a bird's head.
I would rather find that than what I was finding when, like, the first 2 years I was living in my condo. Like, I'm not sure if Jeremy remembers, but like every so often I'd be doing something and I would find a bra just out of nowhere.
I remember.
And it was just like, does my like condo like just mass produce bras every so often? Like I'd be doing laundry and like I'd find a bra, and then I would do something else and then I'd find a bra, and I'm like, they're obviously neither of ours. We weren't
entertaining.
We weren't entertaining guests at the time. So yeah, I'd prefer that.
Yeah, that's gross.
Weaponized laundry.
Nice. Congratulations.
All right. Well, I'll go next. Mine's short and sweet, I feel like. But mine is, once again, it's the Gambler's Merit Badge Part 2.
Oh.
I, in 3 months, have gone from free money of $5 to $500 and almost $50.
Congratulations.
So I can't believe it.
Wow.
And you're just doing NBA bets? Are you doing any of the NCAA college tournament
I did
stuff?
a couple of those. I'm 50%. Because I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're gonna win. But yeah, it's pretty surprising at some of the people are willingness to take really dumb bets. You're just like, that person sucks, right? But you're like willing to put like a LeBron James versus a guy that you've never heard of before. You're okay with that? You're like, okay. Well, good on you for, losing your money. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been more entertaining. Like betting with other people's money, like not your money, is fun because you have less emotion involved and you're less stressed, and it makes watching the sport a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I just bet $1 at a time. So these are all $1 bets. So I've done over 500 plus bets, and yeah, got where I'm at.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Cha-ching.
Now I'm just like, when do I pull the money out and spend it on something fun, or do I just keep going, keep on trucking to 1,000?
See, that's
I guess once basketball's over, maybe that's
and here is where, like, I guess you could say, here's me being the devil on one side and the angel on the other side. And this is from my personal experience of having a gambling problem and basically turning $100 into about $9,000 and then losing about $3,000 of it. But that's besides the point. here's what I would recommend is because I found that when I was invested in fantasy baseball, because that's where I was winning, I was massively, but I had accrued such a knowledge of fantasy sports, fantasy points, fantasy, predictability that's where I got like all of my knowledge from. It wasn't from like, oh, let's, figure out this or whatever. I'm just like, no, I'm invested in these players.
Yeah.
I have knowledge about these things. These players are on this team. And so then, these players are on this team. Yeah, I waived that guy. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I traded that guy away on purpose. Yeah, let's do this. So the devil on one side is save it and wait for next year. And the angel is like, no, you've taken $5 and you have, multiplied it by 100. Take it and run.
I probably will take it and run at the end of the season. I mean, then just leave some for next year. Because then I'll just do it again. Because, I only get about 20-ish bets a day, unfortunately. People don't accept all the bets. I put out like 50 or 60, and only about 20 or so get accepted. So that's mine. So, my merit badge just looks like putting Monopoly money in and getting real money out.
The world worked like that.
I know, right? So in case your listeners want to know, it's the Lucra app. So that's what it's called. You can download and find me on there, and I'll bet you.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah, not a sponsor. All right. So my merit badge is like, it looks like it's a recycle merit badge. That's what it looks like. And I have been able to just barely recently recycle my enjoyment of sports once again. And it is all due to the NCAA tournament. I pre-pandemic, I dropped basketball. I was like, I'm getting annoyed with baseball players whining about how much they're not getting paid. You think I could feed my family on $100 million contract? I need a $140 million contract. And so I was kind of being disheartened by that. And then, of course, the pandemic, it's so true. Anything that what is it? If you give something up for like 3 weeks or 3 months or whatever, you can break a habit or something like that. The pandemic broke my habit of every single sport. Like I lost all of my fandom fully, and I never was able to get it back. And so I joined your bracket. I did your bracket last year, but I didn't care. This year I got in, and my students were talking about it and asking this and that. And then I started watching the games, and, I will tell you, I had a perfect bracket up until the second game. And I was so thrilled with myself. I had, I picked, was it West Virginia to lose, and I was thrilled with myself. I'm like,
good.
Yes,
good on you.
We are on our way for a perfect bracket. And then I'm watching the Virginia game, and then they lost. And I'm like, okay, now I want it all to be burned to the ground. And I want all of the 16 teams to win. And but in doing so, I'm really enjoying watching college basketball.
Yeah, I've watched more college basketball this week than I have probably my whole life, because I just have never cared about college basketball. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like I get on that wagon when it's March Madness. Like before that, though, it's like I'm.
Yeah. I watched the end of what was this game? Is it FDU?
Oh, yeah.
That was a FDU versus Purdue.
Yes.
That was a great. I like seeing upsets, even though I had Purdue winning. I was still like, that's awesome.
I'm just glad Final Four still intact.
Cool. Yeah, my Final Four.
Like,
too.
What was it? Some of my students came in Friday morning, and they're just like, I had Arizona in my Final Four, and I'm like, So yeah, Final Four still intact. I'm enjoying college basketball. The funny thing is I'm like, will this transfer to other sports? And I'm like, it might. Maybe I could reinvigorate my baseball enjoyment if T-Mobile gives me the MLB network for free again.
I know. I teased for everybody needs to hear this story. So I teased Brett. So T-Mobile, I didn't really read it.
You saw the M and the L.
I did. And I was like, oh, Brett, it's that time of year that, because T-Mobile does this every year where they give out the MLB pass for free. And so I just saw it, ML. And I stopped
reading.
And I go, hey, Brett, the MLB app is the year subscription is free right now through T-Mobile, and he's excited too. And apparently, either you just read ML,
yep.
too, and then the day comes that it's free, and I go to do it, and I'm like, oh, this is Major League Soccer.
Oh,
and then I'm like, I am so sorry, Brett, that I did this to you.
Well, here's the funny thing. I sat there and I mulled over for like a week and a half because I think like T-Mobile gave you about 2.5 to 3 weeks to make a decision on whether you accept it. And so as it was, my phone kept on reminding me like, you have this coupon, it's about ready to expire in 72 hours. And I'm like, sure, why not?
That's what I did. I said, sure, why not? My whole thoughts behind that is if somebody comes to my house and they're like, hey, by chance, do you have soccer? Like babysitters or whatever like that. I'm like, here you go. It's happened before.
Oh, really?
Well, not with that one, but like the Major League Baseball one.
Mm-hmm.
I never use it, but sometimes like my in-laws come over and they're more into baseball than I am. And they're like, hey, I really want to watch this Yankee game. Do you have Major League Baseball pass? I'm like, yes, I do. So I threw it on.
Nice.
So it comes in handy.
Spin the wheel.
All right. We have Spin the Wheel where we have 10 category of questions where we're going to ask each other wonderful questions to get to know each other. Not really. Just to test each other's wits. Nope, not really. Just to find out random stuff. Anyway, so the first one up to bat is Criddle. Speaking of baseball. All right, Criddle, you have a random question.
all right. Would you rather be stuck as John McClane's sidekick in Die Hard 1, be stranded on Mars with Mark Watney in The Martian, or be Agent K's new partner in MIB?
So wait. So if I'm John McClane's partner, am I Carl Winslow in the police car outside, or am I what's his face in the limo in the garage?
Or just some guy that's randomly following him around?
You're just some guy randomly following him around.
Do I have shoes on?
You do not have shoes on.
Oh, man. I feel like,
Well, maybe you do, because that might just piss off John McClane even more.
and what size you have? Oh,
All right,
they're
so-
too small.
yeah.
That might make it more of an action comedy.
Yeah.
Let's see. If I'm Kay's partner, I'm probably dead. So I'm not going with that one.
K is what's his name? Tommy Lee?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay. What do you mean if you're K's partner, you're probably dead?
I think there's a reason why we meet Kay partnerless at the very beginning.
No, he's not. He lets his partner go.
Oh, that's right. That's
His
right.
very
that's
old
right.
partner.
That's right. Okay. Sorry. It's been a while.
It's just the grumpiness of Tommy Lee or K. I don't know.
Okay. I've decided because I actually figured out how this is going to go down. So it's going to be John McClane, because both at the very end, both of us have a gun taped to our back. And we simultaneously pull off the duct tape, and we both point at Hans Gruber, and we both at the same time yippee-ki-yo ki-yay.
You're still trying to pull it out. You're stuck with the tape. Like,
It's just like,
shoot.
oh,
How'd you get your tape off so easily?
my duct tape is extra sticky.
Although for you'd be like,
Ow, that really hurt.
Rips off my shirt.
John's like, I put a little extra tape on you.
This is like, I don't trust your
You're gonna shoot my wife.
because because if you think about it, you're probably like one of the, you're probably one of the employees at the Christmas party that just happened to be, let's just say, in the bathroom with John McClane. And so
or better yet, what if you're either a janitor or a construction worker that's there because they're sad about their life, is also, they're just hanging out upstairs in one of the higher levels,
Uh-huh.
and just be like, my wife left me, it's Christmas, I'm all alone. You're very suicidal.
Yeah. So yeah, you probably don't have like police training and
Yeah.
police, accuracy. So he's just like, oh, let me tape that on your back for you.
and then jumping in the vents, one from another. I don't know about that.
You also have to deal with John McClane talking to himself too.
What was that?
John McClane talks to himself almost. The
Oh,
whole
that's
movie.
right. Now he's talking to me. I'd be like, I don't know.
He's just like the entire time he keeps on telling you, he's like, I'm talking to myself. Don't assume I'm talking to you.
Don't interrupt me.
All right. And so Kay, and who was the other one again?
Mark Watney in The Martian.
I mean, once again, he's talking to himself. He's not talking to me. I would like that, he's going to save my life. If we get through this, it's all because of him, not me.
I feel like he'd be constantly asking me to poop.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to eat potatoes as much as he's going to do. I just don't like the lifestyle of being around Kay. And obviously this is for life. I'm going with John McClane as well.
I'd probably do the same thing.
All right. Now it is Brett, and you get lick off.
All right. So I've been watching like some of these YouTube channels where these people go exploring like abandoned places. And this is based off of one of my observations. Because it seems like it's very common in England for people to just be like, yeah, peace out. We're done with this house. And then just walk away and they just leave all their stuff. And it's just,
That's weird.
I'm just fascinated by it, just so fascinated by it. And I saw this one where there was an ashtray where you can definitely tell that they walked away like in the 80s, full of ashes, but also full of whatever dust particles or whatever, and has been. So an ashtray that has been left in a deserted house since the 80s. That is my lick off.
First, can I say I appreciate it's not an eclair this time?
Yes.
It's
Cool.
not a what?
An eclair.
An eclair?
Yes.
From last time.
Oh. Did we do the Van Wilder?
Van Wilder.
Okay, I forgot about that. Good memory on you.
It's still traumatizing for him.
Ugh.
I'm gonna start off with like 50,000. Obviously, I have to go from side to side, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just one straight line, or the whole.
You can't go the perimeter. You have to go
Inside.
from
One edge to the other edge.
We're going circumference or
Diameter?
diameter. Yeah.
Okay, so straight across.
Do I have to? Can I just let the ashes fall off my tongue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But just know if like you sneeze, like you're inhaling it all.
Ugh.
Hold your breath.
Just go. Oh yeah, that would suck in immediately.
Okay, I have a strategy.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go 40,000.
Okay, I'm gonna go 25.
Okay, 15,000.
10,000. Now, just for my own conceptualization, this is one of those like standard ones that's probably 4 inches in diameter.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where did we leave off?
15,000.
I'll go to 10,000.
5,000.
Go to 1,000.
800.
Oh. This is where I really envisioning myself doing it and seeing how disgusted I will feel with myself and is it worth the money? 700.
Oh.
650.
550.
Ooh.
500.
I'm liking this tennis game.
1,000. You can have it.
Wow. I wasn't going to go below 500.
Sucker.
So what was your strategy?
Get a really nice tongue scraper after.
just those, metal ones where you yeah, the taste though.
Yeah.
The taste. Ugh.
Nothing Listerine can't do.
I don't know about that. Ugh. All right. I'm up. And I got, what would you have done? All right. This is kind of like, what would you do? So this week I found on TikTok a movie that I've never heard of before. Maybe you have. Is from 2009. It's called The Invention of Lying. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Oh, you didn't like it?
No.
All right. But along the same premise, for anybody who's not seen it, is Ricky Gervais is living in a world where lying does not, like, nobody knows how to lie. Nobody knows what lying is. And then he figures it out. And so literally anything he says is taken
As truth.
truth because nobody knows what lying is. What would you do in a world like that?
I mean, so
if you were Ricky Gervais.
Okay, just before I do this, here's my rationale for why I think this movie kind of sucks, because it's called The Invention of Lying. However, the first part of the movie is people not having the ability to have inner thought or dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
They just vomit every single thing that passes through their brain. And I'm like, no, that's not lying.
Yeah.
Like you walking past somebody and just be like, I think your shirt is ugly. Like that is not lying. That is like you thinking to yourself. So that's where I like really got bothered with this movie, is because like, you don't have to, lying is when somebody just goes up to you and you're like, what do you think of this outfit? And you're just like, actually, I think it looks like vomit. Like that is lying. Mm-hmm. You just walking past somebody and be like, your outfit looks like vomit. That is called lack of inner monologue.
Yeah. And not being able to hold it in.
Exactly. So that's my biggest problem with it. So if it was actually lying and not like the whole like I'd be fine with it, because like,
no, but what would you do with this?
Oh, if I could lie?
Yeah. Would you take advantage of it?
No, because I here's my problem with lying. And because I feel as though I'm very honest to almost a fault, is because like some people have commented, they're like, Brett, you remember almost everything. You remember this, you remember this detail about something that, and I'm like, yes. And I remember the lie and the truth. And I hate having to remember both of them.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
And so it would drive me insane having to remember both of them. If I could just purge the truth out of my brain and be like, and convince myself, kind of like George Costanza, it's only a lie if you it's true if you believe it is true. Like if I could do that, then yeah, I'd be fine with it. But no, I can't do that.
All right, what about you, Criddle?
I would use it very sparingly, because I feel like it's, with great power comes great responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
But I would probably use it, like, especially in this day and age, like I would use it to get into a house, because I feel like houses are super overpriced these days.
Oh yeah. My favorite is just like, so I just saw one scene where he gets pulled over by the cop with Louis C.K. who's driving and he's intoxicated. And it's just so funny how like, Louis C.K.'s not, he's like, I don't feel good. And he's like, no, you're fine. He's like, oh, good, I'm fine. It's just like he believes him immediately. And then Louis C.K. proceeds to vomit, and apparently not. And then like, and then they go to the casino at one point, and Louis C.K. Not Louis C.K. Gervais is learning he can benefit financially off of this. And so they go to play craps, and, obviously not craps, roulette.
Mm-hmm.
And roulette, it lands on a number that he didn't bet on. And then he tells it, look, everybody, look at that weird thing. And everybody looks, and he moves his over to the correct number. He's like, look, I got it right. You won. And just like I just loved all that randomness of like people, like even the characters. I liked how they thought for just a second, like, well, there's no other option.
Yeah.
He must be telling the truth. So Yeah, I'm interested in it, but yeah, I can see what you're saying about there's just no, they can't hold in their thoughts. Like that's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is Criddle. And you got Could You Fight It?
All right. Could you fight the shark from the Meg?
No. No. Me single-handedly, no. I would say like I like where I'm at in Utah. I'd continue to live here far away from the water.
Let's say you have $20,000 in resources. Your choice to pick what you need. $20,000. Could you fight the Meg from the Megalodon, or the Megalodon from the Meg?
Yeah. I mean, especially, yeah, if there was either financial gain involved to kill it and as well. And
let's say there's $1 million reward for $1 million to get it dead, 10 million for alive.
Oof, 10 million alive. There's no way.
No, I it would have to be like in the billions for that to be worthwhile. It's like, oh, hey, because especially with, inflation, it's like, hey, I just killed the Meg. I got $1 million. Like, congratulations. You can barely own a house.
I'd just like, get a crane, go out somewhere and somewhere that's the Meg could be that I could put a crane because I don't want to be on a boat. I want to be close to the land as possible. And then just dangle a cow in front of it and put like a bomb in the cow. And then he comes up and eats it, wait a little bit of time, and then also kablooey.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Exactly. I was kind of thinking Jurassic Park too. That's kind of where my thoughts would be, because I would be doing this not stupid at all. I'm not going on a boat. If I know he's out there, I'm not going on a boat. So
is that a good movie? I saw the trailer for it, and when I saw the trailer, I was just like, I think I saw the beginning, middle, and end all in the trailer, and I'm like, I think I've just saved myself time and money.
I don't remember the trailer enough to remember, but it is what it is. It's a shark movie.
Okay.
It's one of those movies you can turn your brain off and just kind of, okay.
It's more entertaining than Deep Blue Sea. You know what? It's about the same as Deep Blue Sea.
Okay. Because that's what I thought I saw, what I believed it was when I saw it, was like, oh, this is like Deep Blue Sea, except with one big gigantic megalodon instead of smart sharks.
In all honesty, I bet you could replace Jason Statham with The Rock and get the same results.
Ooh.
If you're looking at it from that kind of perspective, like your perception of what the Rock movies are, where you can just kind of enjoy the ride. Same thing, but with Jason Statham.
Just so, side note, because I'm pretty sure you have. Have you seen the Fast and Furious Hobbs and whatever movie?
Yes.
Is that good? Because pre Black Adam, that was the only Fast and Furious thing that looked decently good.
This is probably like watching the Meg. It's just you got to turn your brain off and enjoy the ride. Plus the chemistry between Statham and The Rock. I mean, they butt heads almost the whole movie, and then you have to accept the premise of the movie, which is very silly, especially in the world of Fast and the Furious.
Somebody brought up to my attention, and I don't know if it was here. I don't think it was here. I think it was somewhere else in other parts of my life. Jason Statham plays the same exact character.
Oh, yes.
Basically.
He absolutely does. He absolutely, ever since Italian Job, he's been typecasted as like a driver and kind of an action guy. I mean, you had Italian Job, who'd turn him into a driver. Then you had Transporter, turn him into a driver, plus a little bit of martial artist. And I think then that's just stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's typecast.
Yeah. And you know what? Good on him for leaning into it.
Exactly.
Sometimes, so what you got to do. Not everybody's career is going to be like this, Oscar-winning performance plus, mega millions of dollars every movie. Like, I don't know, Robert Downey or whoever, somebody.
No, like if I was like David Duchovny, I would totally have leaned into like, I am Mulder forever.
Yep.
Let's season 27. Let's go.
I forgot what I was going to say. What were we talking about? Oh, Hobbs and Shaw. I saw that movie. It was it's exactly what you think it is. I've never seen anything past Fast and Furious 2. So,
oh man,
yeah, I know. I'm way.
I watched. Well, it was funny because because our brother-in-law, he made he made me watch the second one because after the first one, I'm like, I'm out. I liked Gone in 60 Seconds, but I did not like Fast and Furious. And then he was all about the souping up Honda cars or Toyota cars. And so he made me watch the second one. I'm like, okay, it was a tad better than the first one, at least to me. And then the third one was straight to video, which, always is quality.
Yep.
You're the premier.
Yep. When I saw the trailer for Tokyo Drift, I was like, I'm out.
I rented it from Redbox when it first came out and I watched it on literally fast forward, just like, when is it? And then I'd pause it and has it gotten good? Nope. Fast forward again.
Prepare to fast forward.
The best part about it was the tease for Fast and the Furious 4 when they had Vin Diesel come in at the end credit scene. I'm like, oh, I thought this was a dead franchise. Apparently not.
Which is honestly like the Vin Diesel cameo was a tease for Furious 6 or 7.
Interesting.
It's totally out of synchronization, like the whole thing.
But also props to Vin Diesel for leaning into it too.
Oh yeah.
Because honestly, besides the Pitch Black,
That was a good movie.
Yeah, which then bombed, if you ask me, for Chronicles of Riddick.
Yes.
And then he had Triple X, which I think he did after Fast and Furious. Yeah. And then that's all he's done ever since that I'm aware of is Fast and Furious, besides Groot.
Yeah.
Which that's not really a thing.
No.
Yeah, I think good on him. Good on him.
Yeah.
All right, up next is wait a minute. We left off with Criddle.
Uh-huh.
Brett, you get What If?
All right. So what if you found yourself teleported back in time to 1943? What age would you claim to be?
So World War II is happening.
Uh-huh.
World War II ends in 45 or
Yes.
46. I can't remember.
I can't remember.
It's one of the two. So I go back. Do I go back like this?
Yes. What age do you claim to be? So somebody's just like, hey, data. You're like, oh, I'm sorry, I lost my whatever. I need to get a birth certificate or whatever. And there's like, okay, we'll fill because they're probably a little bit more. Oh, hey, Social Security, kind of like a newish type of a thing.
I'm trying to think of how age would benefit me, like changing my age. Because obviously, I'm old enough that right now that I knew the day that I no longer am draftable. I have in my life for some reason I've kept note of that. What else am I? What else? What number? Because younger would be nice, but then it's like, but I'm in reality not younger.
Yeah.
I'd probably just stay at my own age or round down.
Round down.
I'm 35.
Yeah, I'd just go with my own age.
Yeah. What about you?
I'd shave 7 years off.
7 years off.
Yeah. I'd be like,
Well, the funny thing is like, we have all seen older people that like, growing up, we saw people in their 60s that looked like they were on their deathbed and they look like their 90s. Now we look at a 60-year-old and you're like, you look like somebody sometimes in their 40s or 50s back in the day.
well, yeah, it's so weird. And that's why I came up with this question because I was like watching some, black and white movie and I IMDb'd the actor. I'm like, man, this guy's like 57 years old. And I look up, it's like, no, 39. Like he was 39 when he made this. He is ancient looking.
Yeah, he is. I remember our grandparents, and I was just like, when in the 60s, and I was just always when they were in their 60s, I was like, wow, you guys are so old. Now I see my parents, I'm like, you don't look anything compared to what they look like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always find that fascinating to look at. All right, my turn, and I get Desert Island. Okay. This one I was kind of proud of. So you are stuck on a desert island, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time that you are there from the clouds or somewhere, your life is being narrated while you're on there. But you're all by yourself, just being narrated. What voice would you pick? Jar Jar Binks, Ruby Rod from Fifth Element, Fran Drescher's The Nanny, or Shelley Duvall's Olive Oil from movie Popeye?
Oh, why would you have to go? I could do Shelley Duvall because she used to do fairy tale theater when I was a kid, and I used to watch it. But when you said Olive Oil, that just ruined it for me. Oh dear!
Oh my!
Oh dear! He's
Oh.
taking a number 2 in the stand.
Oh, can't get that fire started. Oh.
Is Ruby Chris Tucker?
Yeah. Chris
Yeah,
Tucker's
I'm
Ruby.
going.
I'm going him.
I'm going Chris Tucker 100 days out of 100.
I kind of figured that's where everybody's leaning because the nanny would be. And Jar Jar Binks. Oh, he knows start a fire. Huh?
Misa see him take a doo doo.
Ruby Rod. I don't even know if I could do an impression of him at all, but yeah.
But I want to see you try.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to begin.
My favorite thing about Ruby is the alliteration about how he'll just sit there and just be illiterate.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And then the, oh my gosh, yeah. But I love the alliteration when he is like, trying to,
Coben, my man. Coben, my man.
yeah.
He'd probably also be screaming too, like, "Hey man, don't do that!"
That was bravo.
Wow.
Bravo. Do you see him start the fire? That might almost be entertaining compared to the other ones are more of a painful thing to endure. All right.
Quizzel me this.
Okay, we got Quizzel Me This. I got some cards here from this game called Movies Trivia Game. We're going to go down the card and back up. And first one to get back to the top will win. And I'm going to remember at the beginning, you can steal. I always forget that until like a couple rounds in. Okay. Who wants to go first? I'm going to let you guys decide so that doesn't seem like I'm mixing up the cards.
Doesn't matter to me. Like, I was gonna say, do you want to see my phone?
What do you mean see your phone?
To make sure I wasn't cheating.
Oh, gotcha.
Mm.
Nah. I'm good. All right. And then I'm just going to go to the left.
Okay.
Normal game rules. Okay.
All right.
Cradle. This, I assume, is comedy because it has the picture of the chattering teeth next to it. What do the 3 groomsmen lose in The Hangover?
Oh man, it's been a long time since. Is it a person? Like one of the groom the groom?
That is correct.
Yeah, the groom.
Good job.
All right.
Isn't it the guy from National Treasure?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I hate it. I remember I took Jeremy. I think it was either your birthday, my birthday, or it was close. We were actually getting ready to go to somebody's birthday, and I got off of work. Me and him went to go see it. Maybe it was because like everybody was saying how great of a movie it was. I walked out. I was like, I hated that entire experience.
Yeah, I didn't really care for it either, especially the credits. That's burned in my head. The credits were. They showed pictures of what happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. Anyway, unfortunately, this is a gimme. What Mel Brooks comedy is shot in black and white to create an old monster movie feeling?
Ooh, Young Frankenstein or
Great movie.
Frankenstein.
That is correct.
It's a great movie.
It is.
It is.
It is until I don't like from the violin on. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get you that. But let's see.
That's almost the end of the movie.
So there's that. There is
Blazing Saddles?
Blazing Saddles where
Uh-huh.
that happens. Does that happen in any other of his movies?
No, because I like History of the World Part 1.
Yeah.
No, History of the World Part 2 is not that great. And what else is it? The Robin Hood Men in Tights, Spaceballs. Spaceballs a little bit at the very, very end.
Mhm.
Like,
Hmm.
yeah. Like just when they land on the planet. I didn't find that funny, but maybe other people did at the time.
Oh, it was, what was it? Came out in 87. So
Yes.
people people loved Planet of the Apes. And
Yep.
so I guess I saw that as like an 8-year-old or whatever. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah. I don't remember I remember not enjoying Vertigo, period. So is that
Yeah.
what it's called?
Vertigo. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, no. High anxiety.
High anxiety, that's the one. All right. All right, Criddle, you're back up. What film sees Spider-Man road tripping about Europe?
Spider-Man Far From Home.
That is correct. All right, Brett. Man, these cards are like made for you guys in a sense. Brett, what was Roger Moore's first Bond movie? Was it Thunderball, Moonraker, or Live and Let Die?
Live and Let Die.
Yep. That is correct. Okay, Criddle. What are the first two rules of Fight Club?
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Yep. And what is the second one?
Don't talk about Fight Club.
That is correct. I didn't know the second rule at all. It was the same one.
Neither did I. I was like, oh, I'm so glad that you got this one.
I read the book, so I
Oh, you
knew that.
did?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize there's a book. All right, Brett. Sofia Coppola's Lost in Translation is set in what city?
Montana. That's a state, not a city. Lost in Translation. Oh, that's that Bill Murray movie that I never saw.
Yep.
Because that was like
Artsy
artsy Bill Murray.
Yep.
Oh.
He likes to be artsy.
Let's see. What would that be? I'm gonna go with Omaha, Nebraska.
That is incorrect. Do you want to try for the steal?
If you know this, I will think less of you.
He's also read the book.
This is going to be a totally random guess. Atlanta?
I thought you were going to say Atlantis. I was like, okay.
The lost city of Atlanta.
Man, that movie was way off. Nope, it's Tokyo.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Criddle. Which rock star plays a vampire in the 1983 movie The Hunger McJagger? Oh, sorry. Let me read it over again. That didn't make any sense to me. Which rock star plays a vampire in the 1983 movie The Hunger? Is it Mick Jagger, David Bowie, or Cher?
Oh my goodness. What?
Cher, would we consider her a rock star? I mean, yeah, she's a singer, but I don't know.
I'm going to go with David Bowie.
That is correct. All right. Well, you've reached the bottom of your card, so we just got to go back up next time.
All right.
All right, Brett, you get a new card.
Yeah.
What 1985 movie stars Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah?
That would be The Color Purple.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that movie was 1985. I didn't know Oprah was even famous back then. Thought it was like late 80s, early 90s. Okay, Cradle. What is the alien moon in Avatar called?
The alien moon?
Yep,
In Avatar, like the 2009 Avatar?
that's correct. Yep,
Pandora?
that is correct.
Oh, okay. Yay.
I thought that was the planet.
Maybe that is the moon. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
do what the card says.
All
Yeah,
right,
exactly. The card tells me that's what it is.
Okay, Brett. What crappy Bill Murray movie?
No, you're into sci-fi now.
Oh, okay.
So-
Music.
What film directed by Bong Joon-ho stars Chris Evans on a train? I've never knew this was a movie, and I didn't know Chris Evans was in it.
That is, I know, Snowpiercer.
That is correct. Anybody seen it?
No, I wanted to. And then when I went to go watch it, it was off of Netflix. So,
Oh, I remember it advertised.
Because I'm a big fan of Chris Evans. But also I watched the first episode of the TV show Snowpiercer,
mhm.
and then I lost my privileges to watching. I think it's FX.
I think Snowpiercer, I want to say it's on HBO Max.
Oh,
I
they
think.
moved it over there now.
I think so.
Okay. Well, I did like the first episode I watched. It was a good story. All right. So now we're on to Cradle.
Oh.
This is a drama. Who plays I know how to say this name. I know how to say it. Is it
Roger
Atticus Finch? That's it. In To Kill a Mockingbird.
Who does he, wait?
Who
does
plays
he-
Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird?
Gregory Peck?
Good on you. I would have. I don't remember
I,
his
I
name.
love when he talks. It's just like it doesn't seem like it should be coming out of his mouth. It's just
Nope.
I need to see that movie again. I don't know if I liked it, but I want to see him talk again because I
Yeah.
don't remember. All right, Brett, you got that one right. So you get one more sci-fi and then you move upwards and onwards. What is missing from the birds that is common in most Hollywood productions? I did not know this.
Bill Murray.
The birds. Like,
Bill Murray, did you say? Or Samuel Jackson?
I'm trying to get these mother birds. Let's see. What is missing from the birds
That is common in most Hollywood
that
productions.
is common in most Hollywood productions? I'm gonna go with incidental music.
I'm going to have to refer to the judges on this one. Musical score is the answer. Criddle.
sure, I'll give it to him.
Okay. Because incidental, I wasn't sure if you meant like
Well, I'm thinking of because the oftentimes the incidental music is the music that adds to the
Yeah.
background
Uh-huh.
of the thing.
yeah.
It's almost like in Jaws, the Jaws
The-
song.
Yeah.
Doo-doo. But it's the.
I see
villain.
what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay. All right, Criddle, you have. I don't know what this category is.
That's not good for me.
No,
It
I'm
is
just trying
the
to figure out the
crappy Bill
category.
Murray category.
I think it's action is what the category is. I can't make out what the little image is. Who does Rocky face in the climatic fight of Rocky?
oh, come on.
It's the.
I would not know this because I don't know my Rockies.
Yeah, I'm bad with Rockies.
And just the title Rocky, that's like the newer one.
I don't know.
'Cause
I'm curious.
It's not Creed, right? Like
You gotta let me know.
it's not. It's Adonis's Creed's. I don't know. Gosh, I get them all mixed up.
Yep.
It's Creed's dad. That's my guess. I don't know his name.
I'm gonna just ask Brett. Do you know the answer?
Apollo Creed.
Is that Creed's dad, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, so the answer is Apollo Creed.
Okay, I got his last name right.
I will let you. I will allow you to be correct because I was sitting there going through all the Rocky movies. I've only seen 2.5 of them, and I've seen Rocky 1. I saw Rocky 4. Oh, sorry, I take that back. I have seen Rocky 5, which is really bad. And then I saw half of the Rocky Balboa, and that's the one that you were curious about if it was the newer
Mm-hmm.
Rocky.
Oh, Rocky
one.
Balboa. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like, because you said that, I'm like, that I didn't want that to affect his answer.
Gotcha.
So I'm
Gotcha.
going to go with allowing that as a point.
Okay. We did that one. Okay, you need.
I was like, isn't Michael B. Jordan's character Adonis?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Brett. What addiction is Train Spotting about? Never heard of this movie.
Oh, I watched it. I didn't like it. People really like this movie. I'm going to go with crack. I don't care.
Is heroin crack? I don't know.
No,
I'm not a drug guy.
it is not.
Okay. All right. For the win. And one of the most gimmies ever. Who did Will Ferrell play in Anchorman?
Ron Burgundy.
Yep. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. Congratulations, Criddle.
First time winner.
All right. If you've listened with us recently, we have been doing March Madness with action movies, specifically the most rewatchable action movies. So if you don't know where we are, you can go back and listen to the previous podcast. We have 2 other ones that we started this with. However, these are by section, so you can also listen here and not miss a thing as well, because we don't talk about Bruno. I don't know why I wanted to say that, but I did. Anyway, so yeah, we are going to start off today with Terminator 2 versus Rogue One.
Ooh.
Rogue One is, to me, the most rewatchable Star Wars. Star Wars, Bob.
I will tell you, I heard the most interesting thing from 2 teenage sweepers that were walking through the halls of our school, and they were arguing over what Star Wars movie is the worst Star Wars movie, Solo or Rogue One. And I'm like, how is Rogue One even an option?
I know. Yeah, no. I've even talked to people who are Star Wars fans, and they consider Rogue One to be a really good one.
I do love Rogue One. It's about characters that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It is basically kind of a story that they pulled out of the introductory to A New Hope, made it really good and compelling. And then Terminator 2 is like the actual probably first rated R movie I was allowed to ever watch.
Yep, me too.
And I was like panicked because like we were at a friend's house, a family friend's house watching it.
Yep,
Later,
I remember that exact moment.
the person who brought it over was like became the bishop of the ward, and it's just like, all right. But I think Terminator 2, oh, we have to go not best, but
Yeah,
most
most
rewatchable.
rewatchable.
Okay, I have to go. Terminator 2 is great. It is a classic movie. It is probably one of the better ones on both lists combined.
Groundbreaking.
But I will have to sadly say that for rewatchable reasons, Rogue One is more rewatchable than Terminator 2.
I'm going to have to agree with you, because as like you pointed out, Terminator 2 is a great movie. Great story, everything about it. Great. Rogue One, just more rewatchable. In fact, I dare say if this was a bracket of better action movies, Terminator 2 would win.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So,
definitely.
Rogue One's just more rewatchable.
I mean, Terminator 2 definitely holds up to today. And I love the story, how just simple,
Mhm.
a complex story that is made really simple. Even the VFX in there and just the shots I still think they still work today, just like Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
which is I think around the same time.
Yeah.
So-
I think this a little bit before Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I mean, I think it was ahead of its time for sure. But I'll give it to Rogue One.
All right. Rogue One moves
I
on.
will tell you, just a side note, one of my favorite things I ever saw when I watched Terminator 2 for the first time is the redheaded kid from Salute Your Shorts was the friend.
Oh, was he? Huh?
Yeah.
All right. Next, Indiana Jones. Wait a minute. Yeah, number 3. I was like, wait a minute.
Raiders or The Last Crusade.
But I was like, which one is that?
Raiders
one?
of the Last Crusade.
Yeah.
Or Starship Troopers, which is a funny comparison here. And it's funny because like Starship Troopers has the benefit of being a comedy as well as
Yeah.
an action movie. So comedies always lend themselves to being a little bit more rewatchable, if you ask me. And Indiana Jones is actually quite comical for an Indiana Jones movie, especially when you compare it to the first 2, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. Last Crusade is more comical than the first 2 combined.
Mm-hmm.
It all has a really good story too.
It
Like,
does.
Plus, I love the Sean Connery and Harrison Ford chemistry. You know, it's also one of the few movies with River Phoenix in the beginning.
Mhm.
yeah.
It's I think I might push towards Indiana Jones 3.
It's a hard one because the comedy of, like I said, there's more comedy in Starship Troopers. Comedy is more rewatchable in my book. You know, you have the coolest football ever that starts the show
Oh,
off.
yeah.
That's what is the swizzle stick, whatever. I don't even know what it's called. And then you have the story of the training, which who knew training could be so fun to watch?
I did because that's the best part about what's that Stanley Kubrick movie? The what is it? The Vietnam one.
Are you talking about not the one with Bill Murray, right?
No. Full Metal Jacket.
Oh wow, I don't remember that being entertaining.
Oh, I loved the entertaining part until Sergeant Pyle ended himself. Then that's when the movie really got real. And then when they went over to Vietnam, then when it kind of was.
Yeah. This is a hard one for me because there's so much in both of them are nostalgic for me. Both have comedy. The storyline of Indiana Jones is way better, is superior.
Mm-hmm.
But rewatchability, which one would I want to watch more? I'm gonna say Indiana Jones 3.
Okay. I will, because it doesn't matter. I'm going to go with Starship Troopers.
Were you kind of in the middle as well?
I was, but I also was like, I actually envisioned myself sitting down on your sofa. Both DVDs were out in the open. Which one would I put in? And that's what I went with also.
See, I kind of did the same thing, except like, okay, I finished it. Mm-hmm. I just finished it. Which one would I want to watch again right then and there kind of thing? And I went with Indiana Jones. All right, the next one is Blade versus Jumanji. Welcome to the jungle.
All right. Man, I will tell you, Blade, I had no idea what to expect with Blade because I didn't even know it was a comic book character until fairly recently.
Mm-hmm.
Like I find the concept of a daywalking vampire great. You had the villain who was the little boy from The Gate movie. I can't even think of the actor's name.
I thought the villain was like, I don't know if it's Timothy Olyphant.
No, it's not Timothy Olyphant. The guy who is the villain is the little boy from The Gate.
Huh. I mean, I remember the movie Gate. I just don't remember the kids and back then, like, yeah, who that was.
The only reason why I know this is Stephen Dorff. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious who he is. He's from Immortals, which I've never seen.
That's an okay movie.
Still looking. Apparently he hasn't had a great career recently, at least. Still looking. Wow. I mean, good on him for acting still.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of most of these movies. There's Blade.
Uh-huh.
Even pre-Blade looking. Man, he does not pick winners. Roseanne. He was in Roseanne. I recognize that movie, that show for 3 episodes. Married with Children. So when he was a kid, he was in more things I'm familiar with. There's The Gate.
Uh-huh.
Different Strokes. All right. Well, that's interesting. I thought he would be more on familiar things.
I feel like Blade changed, the landscape, I guess, of comic book movies.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of helped shift the tone of things, because this was before X-Men, right?
Yeah.
This was before,
which I think
90s.
that probably set this stage for what the first X-Men movie was going to be.
Mm-hmm. I like Blade. I like Wesley Snipes playing Blade. I like I'm trying to remember Whistler. The character Whistler was played by, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I just don't remember who it is. But when that compares to Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and we're talking about The Rock, and yeah,
it's a fun action. It's a fun
action, yeah. In which I've said before previously on the previous one that comedies lend themselves to rewatchability.
Oh yeah, and whenever you can have a character that's allergic to cake, that's just hysterical.
I love just how they took something from the 90s and just updated it, it wasn't a reboot. It was just a continuation.
Its own spin also.
And I love that. And it was, my expectations for it were low.
Yes.
Because I kept Jumanji, the original, in high, praise for me, because that was just one of those movies that I watched a lot growing up. But when I saw this, I was like, oh, it's not going to be as good. And then I saw it. I'm like, wow, this actually might be better than the original.
Well, I also liked it because, like, what was it? Was it this one or was it the second one with The Rock that brought back in full circle the board
It
the
was
board
the first
game
one.
the first one where the aunt of the two, they brought her back because she played in Cheers, she played Frasier's wife. She's also the principal in the movie The Faculty also.
Uh-huh.
They brought her back, which kind of brought the original series back into like the forefront of the mind.
I think that was number one. Then like this one, Welcome to the Jungle.
Well, I mean, there was also a scene in Welcome to the Jungle where they were in like this hut that was created by Alan Parrish.
Yeah.
And he said
And
Alan
the
was here or
scientist
something.
named, yeah. That was where what's his name? The Jonas brother was
Jonas
living.
brother was, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to go for Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
I gotta go Jumanji.
So do I.
All right. And I dare say it's probably a better action movie.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, North by Northwest and Aliens.
Oh,
I've never seen Aliens. It's on my to-do list. I know this is one of my sins that I have. I carry on with me all the time that I have not seen it.
Now, Aliens is the sequel to Alien.
yes.
And this one's 100 times better.
Oh yeah. I have a friend that thoroughly disagrees with that statement, and I'm like, okay, that's
You can have your
you can have your opinion. I think that this Aliens is far superior, kind of like Terminator 2. I watched when I was working in the video department. I rented myself because I'd already had seen the Terminator 2. I'd never seen the first Terminator. I watched the first Terminator. I'm like, how is this good enough for anybody to say I want a second one?
It's kind of like also Hot Shots.
Yeah.
Hot Shots Part 1 sucked.
But Aliens is by far the superior one. One of my favorite Cary Grant movies is North by Northwest. He is in a serious situation where he's being abducted by people he doesn't know. They're drugging him, and he is making jokes left and right the entire time. And for me, I think North by Northwest easily. But you know what? You can also say I do like Cary Grant, and I do like Alfred Hitchcock movies. And Aliens, to me, it's one of those things where I never was on the massive bandwagon where people are like, this is the definitive movie in my lifetime. It was just a movie that was good.
What are your thoughts, Criddle? I'm leaning on both of your guys' opinions as far as Aliens goes.
I mean, Aliens, I feel like, set the bar so much higher with the Alien franchise. I don't think it's ever gone up above Alien. Like, I mean, it's far and away the best out of the Alien series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
North by Northwest is just classic. There's a lot of iconic scenes into it. Rewatchability, I might lean towards North by Northwest.
All right. Well, you guys didn't convince me of anything. Otherwise, I was going to go by North by Northwest anyway. All right. Okay, let's finish this section real quick. So we're going to go back to Rogue One and Indiana Jones meeting up.
Ooh.
Indiana Jones 3. Sorry. We talked about Rogue One being one of the more rewatchable and also entertaining Star Wars movies. However, I got to give my vote to Indiana Jones 3 because that story is just so great. I think the story is superior to Rogue One. I think the comedy does help it make it more rewatchable. Criddle, you mentioned the what's his name? Harrison Ford and Sean Connery, that they just work together real well.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go Indiana Jones. And also, I like the adventure part of it too.
Yeah, I think the adventure part is good. And the other thing why I am leaning towards Indiana Jones is I think Rogue One is near 3 hours.
Oh, really? Wow. I don't think I realized it was that long.
I'm not sure. I would have to double check that, but I think it is a longer movie compared to Indiana Jones. I'll look it up while I'm doing that, but I think it's longer. And I think we've said before that I think runtime does factor into rewatchability. So currently I do have Indiana Jones up, and its runtime is
2 hours and 7 minutes.
2 hours and 7 minutes. So I think I bet I would willingly bet that Rogue One is like 2 hours and at least
13
40
minutes.
Oh,
They're about the
it
same.
seems longer.
And probably with the difference between the runtime here is
The
the
lulls.
credits are so much longer in Rogue One, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I swear Rogue One just felt long. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't a boring long.
No.
It's not like, 28 Days Later, which
That's probably a shorter movie than both of these.
oh yeah, I bet you it's probably like an hour and like 58 minutes. And that one seemed like it was like 9 hours.
Well, one of my favorite scenes from Rogue One is the Darth Vader scene at the end.
Yes.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Far and away, that is the Darth Vader that like I feel like should have been more present in, the 4, 5, and 6.
Uh-huh.
Like he just was so ruthless and walking down that hallway. You
Yeah.
don't ever want to cross paths with a Skywalker down a dark hallway.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just awesome. Like just the power that he has.
I just thought of like, you don't want to run. You're going down a dark alley. You don't want to run into a Skywalker. And all of a sudden, you're walking down and you hear footsteps. And all of a sudden, you're like, it's a
It's like-
Skywalker.
It's like, wait, he's like, no, I'm not a Skywalker. Oh, okay. I feel more confident.
I was adopted into the Skywalker family, though. Oh,
It's not the same.
But I do love the way Indiana Jones 3 starts, just as Indy as a kid, and then just the whole him just having this like fun like little escape or trying to take something and then run away from those other guys. It was just such a fun setup to Indiana Jones 3.
mm-hmm.
I loved it. And then like the chase through the train
Yep.
was pretty cool.
Can't wait for Geriatric Jones 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Brett, which one are you going with?
Hmm.
Sounds like Criddle's going with Indiana Jones 3.
Indy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Indy 2.
Indy 2? Just
No,
kidding. I know. I'm kidding.
Do not like Indiana Jones 2.
Yeah, I rewatched that one not too long ago to find out if I really don't like it as much as I thought I did. I'm like, yeah, it's not that great. All right, and then returning back to Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle versus North by Northwest.
Both of them have great comedic parts to it, but I think
modern is moving it in one direction for me.
yeah, I have to go with Indiana Jones or not. Sorry.
There's Bullet Train all over again.
Bullet Train. Yeah. Can we just like knock off both of them and just like put Bullet Train in there? Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jumanji.
I mean, we can. That
Bullet Train is on the list. Don't worry about that. It's coming up
Okay.
at some
Oh,
point.
good.
And it's gonna make its way all the way through.
It's gonna bullet all the way.
That's a teaser. Yeah, I'm going Jumanji. North by Northwest doesn't really stand chance in my mind against the comedic hilarity. Is hilarity even a word? I don't even know. Jumanji, because The Rock, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, and I forget the girl's name, but the girl,
Karen Gillian.
yeah, Karen Gillan. Great cast. Very funny from beginning to end. All the little things that you find out from being allergic to cake and to having like lives on your, arm. And
They just modernized that thing so well. Like,
yeah,
just,
they did.
They gave each person their avatars with their strengths and weaknesses, and just I love that all the characters were not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like where a lot of you feel like it is in a lot of video games, but this one it was like totally different with each one, and it was so great.
Yeah, and I think they pulled that right out of the 90s really well because
Oh,
I think
yeah.
video games characters were very different. Each one of them wasn't kind of like a blend, like, oh, this is kind of a mix between, like, no, this is this person. Like Kevin Hart, he's got a backpack.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you got Rock, who is like the action guy. And then you have Jack Black, who's the cartographer. And then Karen Gillian, she's kind of like The Rock. I guess she's the female version of The Rock, the action person.
Mhm.
So
I'm gonna go with Jumanji.
Jumanji. Okay. Well, let's finish this up here. This little segment. Indiana Jones 3 versus Jumanji. So this is kind of almost the same, explorers in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Different reasons for exploring. One's going against Nazis and trying to get the what is it called? What is the goblet called?
The
The holy
chalice.
The chalice.
Yeah.
The Holy Grail.
Uh-huh.
That's
Grail.
the word. And then the other guys are stuck into a video game and just trying to get out of it through exploring. I had to remind myself and everyone, this is rewatchability, not a better movie, because I think that does come into play here. Because they're both great movies. But the most rewatchable one, I'm going to lean towards Jumanji. I feel a little bit.
All right.
I feel a little naughty.
Feel
Well,
dirty.
A little dirty.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Indiana Jones 3. I'm going to make Tim.
Yeah. Now, is that what you truly feel, though?
Yeah, I do. No.
Okay.
Again, just imagining 2 DVDs out in front of me. I had to pick one of them. Which one was it
I
going
would
to be?
choose Welcome to the Jungle.
And you got me. You sold me when you said the adventureness of The Last Crusade.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, there is some adventure, but there's lots of
They're same runtime, roughly, just 8 minutes different.
And you know, there is adventure in Jumanji, but I also I care about, like, I appreciate these serious moments a tad bit more in Indiana Jones 3 than in Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah, there's not really any serious moments there.
Well, I mean, there is, but it's just like, because, you know, it's like the whole high school, like, I didn't know that you would never like me because I'm a geek. And
yeah,
even though
that's rather cliche. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Krill, you got a difficult task ahead of you.
No, and I don't have a phone a friend. So let's see. I'm just trying to replay both movies in my mind.
Prepare to fast forward.
We're in now.
And what I fast forwarded and I thought of Sean Connery with the umbrellas and the birds. What are you doing, Dad?
Oh man.
You're named after the dog?
I'm gonna go with Indiana Jones 3.
See, and what was it? The guy that was in the Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, I loved his character more so in Indiana Jones 3. Because he went from being kind of like an
Which guy are we talking about?
the guy with the red hat.
Oh, the guy that's in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Is Gimli?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His character was more endearing in Indiana Jones 3 than it was in the first one, in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes, definitely was.
I also really like the sound effects in Indiana Jones. The way someone punches somebody and it's just like,
Yeah. That's true. All right. Now we got Red versus Hunger Games. This one is not even really a question.
No, it's Red.
It's Red. Hunger Games is a great movie.
The book is good. The movie, it's one of those things where I saw this being a teacher. We got advanced screenings because it was, a movie based off of a book. And so we got an advanced screening to it. And I walked out of that. I'm like, that's not that bad. And I was like berated by all these people who were just like, but they changed so many. It's like, they're going to have to change stuff.
You know what? I thought about this the other month ago, and I thought about putting this on my merit badges or something, but I don't know. I almost now am going with the attitude of appreciation of difference between books and movies.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's almost like if I go in there and watch the movie unfold as exactly like the book, I'm technically just reliving the book.
mm-hmm.
And there's no surprises, there's no interesting things. Like I'm just watching it unfold.
Yeah.
But when there's a difference between the movie and the book, I'm watching kind of a new, like almost like a fan art of it, and it's so it's a different fan fiction of the book, and so I get surprised. It allows myself to be invested in it where I'm not just kind of like watching it unfold.
Yeah, there was an interview I heard from Ernest Cline when Ready Player One came into theaters. And he talked about, there were people that were asking him about the differences between the book and the movie. And he said, well, they're really, you can't have a direct adaptation from book to movie because that's just a fool's errand.
Mm-hmm.
You won't enjoy it nearly as much because it'll just unfold the exact same way instead of surprising the audience.
Well,
that's why there's adaptations.
And then, but the funny thing is you get so many people complaining about, they went away from the source material. It's like, no, like if they go like 180 away from the source material and the only thing that, you have in common is the title, but the characters are behaving differently, and this character has been superseded by this thing, then yeah, you do have room to complain.
Mhm.
But if you're, everybo's kind of acting normal, but you change it just
And you
slightly,
add some additional characters.
like what was it? When I was working at Select Health, the girls I was working with, they were massively into Harry Potter and the Twilight series. I know more about Twilight than I ever want to know or ever asked to know. And they were constantly complaining because, I can't believe Robert Pattinson is this. That's not what he should look like. And it's just like, okay, well, he does. So, like, you're never going to find, you could find the stereotypical person to be that vampire from Twilight, but you know what? Are they a good actor?
Yeah.
And you're kind of limited when you think that you can find a good type casting or whatever. Like, first off, do they want to do it? Second off, can they actually act, or are they just going to be reading lines off of a card and it's going to be kind of wooden?
Just like the girl from that, even though I've never seen the movie, but the girl from Twilight. I don't know her name.
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah. All right. We all good with Red?
Yes.
Red. Great movie. I don't think we'll talk about it in the next round a little bit more. Gone in 60 Seconds versus Pirates of the Caribbean. This is a good face off because they both have comedy in them.
Mm-hmm.
Pirates way more, but I think the word to describe both of these movies is fun.
Yes.
They're both fun.
They are.
I mean, regardless that Nicolas Cage is trying to save his brother from essentially being, I think, killed. It's still a fun movie.
Are they both Jerry Bruckheimer movies?
Possibly.
Yes, I believe they are, because I think Nick Cage, he works a lot with Bruckheimer.
I mean, I will tell you again, I went into Pirates of the Caribbean not believing in this at all. Like, how can you make a movie out of a stupid ride at Disneyland?
I know they didn't follow the storyline exactly how. Just
like, I was just like, this is not possible. Like, it's not gonna, like, I mean, all I remember from it is, the occasional like roller coaster dip down, the yo ho ho and a bottle of rum, dead man's chest and stuff like that. And that's about it. And so I'm like, how are you going to get a movie? And how are you not only going to get a movie, how are you going to make a good, enjoyable movie? And they pulled it off. And, you have the Orlando Bloom character, or at least in the first Pirates movie, is not obnoxious. I find that his character has gotten more obnoxious the more he appeared in
I've oddly watched 1, 2, and 4.
1, 2, and 4. One of my favorite things about 4, what was it? I was watching The Simpsons one time. And
you haven't seen 3rd?
No.
Or maybe, was it 4 or was it 3?
Because 2 I didn't really like. And then 4 was in movie theaters. And it's just one of those times where, like, you're going to the movie theater and like, we got to pick something.
So actually, I take that back. So it's Pirates of the Caribbean 3. So I was watching the Simpsons and it's something that I rarely ever do, but I was watching it and Bart was sent to work on a farm. And so he's on a tractor and he's going through, it's running out of control. And and he goes through a patch of hay and it, shoots out a bale of hay. And then it drives through a pond and it bails up a square block of water with a couple of fish in it. And then it's just like, that's funny. And then he drives through a whole bunch of cow manure and it shoots out Pirates of the Caribbean 3.
How do you know it's 3? Is it like a cover? That's funny.
3, I don't remember 3 being too bad. It's been a while. I've only seen it like once or twice.
I have to say, though, so part of me with my decision on this, I'm going Pirates of the Caribbean, mainly because Gone in the 60 Seconds, I think, suffers from my HBO effect where I have seen that way too much. And I'm kind of like, if I watch it once a year, I think that's more than enough. Where if I watch Pirates of the Caribbean in a year, I could go, give me a month, I could watch it again.
Yeah.
So I'm going Pirates.
Yeah, I agree. I think Pirates is the more rewatchable.
Well, I'm going Gone in 60 Seconds.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, that's what.
I don't know
waiting.
why.
Well, because he sounded like you're going to say, "Well, golly gee,
Gosh.
All right. Independence Day versus Star Wars 4. Now, I already know where Brett's going.
New Hope."
I'm not a Star Wars fan. Everybody should, if that listens to this, all the episodes probably has heard that before. So I probably am going Independence Day here because, I'm just not into Star Wars.
I mean, the
original.
only one that could be even better is Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, I love Empire Strikes Back. That's my favorite one.
Yes.
I put 4 on the list because that's what people said, like on
Well,
websites. So I didn't know better.
no, you're fine. I think Empire Strikes Back is the best out of all 9.
Yes.
Okay. So
I didn't know
that's
I thought 4 was given some
four
high
is,
praise.
4 is the highest grossing out
Uh-huh.
of all of them. I just think 5
That's probably
is the
what I
better.
was using. I was probably using the highest grossing.
5 is just, I think, the better one.
Okay.
Let's see. Independence Day. I feel like there'd be no Independence Day without Star Wars.
Yeah. What came first, Star Wars 4 or Star Trek came first, right? So,
Star Trek came out in 60.
so yeah, that was first.
Yeah.
So there was a chance. There was a chance.
I'm going Star Wars 4.
Boo. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't really care. I'm glad people find happiness in Star Wars. I just don't. And I don't say it's mean that in a condescending way or a jerky way. I am grateful that people do enjoy that movie, that series, because it brought me The Mandalorian. I do love The Mandalorian.
Oh, I love The Mandalorian.
Okay. 1917 versus Bullet Train.
I don't like this matchup. I want them both to move on to the next round.
But 1917, I will say, is one of those movies that is a great movie, great action movie, probably a superior action movie to Bullet Train.
Yes.
It's just about rewatchability.
Bullet Train.
Rewatchability. Bullet Train
Wins.
Bullet Train hits it with a cart of tangerines.
Yeah, 1917 was a great, great movie. I don't think on the list though, but Hacksaw Ridge, I think is better than 1917. Like as far as an action movie, totally different wars.
Yeah.
I'm just saying war movies.
See, every single time I watch 1917, and I've
Vince
seen
Vaughn?
a handful. No.
Oh, no, sorry. I thought you were saying.
No, whenever I see 1917, I always look for when did they cut it? Like I'm constantly like, so if the camera ever crosses a helmet or whatever, I'm like, that's when they cut it. Like I am like so into when was the cut scene.
That's funny. All right, now it's time to go back up the ladder here. So Red versus Pirates of the Caribbean. This one's a little bit more fun.
This is let's see.
Red, I love the pig. Love the pig. What does he say about it? Oh, it doesn't like John Malkovich says like, I'm gonna need the pig or something like that. And it's like, oh man, I can't believe I forgot. I need to rewatch this movie.
Yeah.
Old man.
I love that movie. And then Pirates of the Caribbean, once again, we've talked about it, is pretty great. The storyline, it's fun. But I gotta say, for rewatchability, I'm going Red. Red, I love Bruce Willis. I love John Malkovich. I love Morgan Freeman in it. The one person I kind of didn't care for in it was the guy that they interrogate. What is his name? He's from Jaws.
Oh, yeah.
What is his name?
I'm the bad guy.
Yeah. And then even what's her name? The girl in that the British girl.
Helen Mirren.
Yeah, Helen Mirren. I think she's great. So I'm going Red. Storyline is fun. And it's way more comedic than Pirates of the Caribbean, and the action's fun. And I really appreciated the so-called bad guy, guy who plays the doctor on Star Trek. I can't think of his name.
Dr. McCoy. Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, McCoy.
And he is also on Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
He
was also in the Doom movie.
The Doom?
The
with
Doom
an M?
movie with The Rock. With The Rock, yeah.
Huh. I deleted that movie from my brain.
That I
was a
still
bad
remember watching that with you and one of your friends in the Dollar Theater movie.
Yep.
Carl Urban.
Yeah,
Carl
Carl
Urban.
Urban. I like Carl Urban.
And I was like, did I not like the movie because it was a bad movie, or did I not like the movie because I was sitting in dollar theater seats that were like the hardest, like they had padding, but the padding had been sat in since like the 70s, and so you just went straight to the bottom.
So I'm gonna go on a tangent here. So the reason why I think this movie bombed, what I was told, I haven't looked this up, I haven't fact checked it, nothing like that. Is that when they like showed this movie in a, what is it called?
A test screening.
A test screening. A lot of the moms did not like the fact that it was like demons from hell kind of thing. And so they created, I forgot what they did instead. And so they kind of revamped it to be more, I don't know. It's a rated R movie. I believe it was a rated R movie.
Yeah, it is.
Leave it. Who cares? You're a mom. Your kid shouldn't be watching this movie.
No, totally agree. I'm going to go with, because again, imagining 2 DVDs out in front of me, I'm going to go with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Wow. I did not see that coming.
I do think Pirates of the Caribbean has a far and away better soundtrack.
Oh, yes.
than the Red.
That's Hans Zimmer, I believe.
I don't think so. Not the first one.
Are you sure? I swear.
I'm pretty sure. He's in on the second one, not the first.
Interesting.
Oh,
Curse of the Black Pearl.
I'm very curious that now who
We're
is
going to
the
find out.
I gotta find out because I swear
Fact check.
let's see, all cast and crew.
Yeah, I think he came in on the second one.
What is it called?
I don't know.
I've never looked for this before. Oh no, you're Klaus Badelt. I've never even heard of him.
Hello.
Wow, good on you.
He comes in on the second.
I'm never going to question like Tim on anything, because when he can pull out like, oh, I think that was like, a whatever movie for the Gone in 60 Seconds. I'm like, oh, Jerry Bruckheimer. I just remember the last, my friends got so into, people like Jerry Bruckheimer type people. And I remember the one thing that like crushed them was that Kangaroo Jack movie. And I'm like, they're like, well, I can't take anything that he does seriously because he did Kangaroo Jack. I'm like, I don't care. I just saw the movie and it doesn't look good. I don't care that Jerry Bruckheimer did it.
Kangaroo Jack is the one guy from Blackish, right? And is it Kevin Hart that's in it?
I don't know.
But yeah, that's the one that's Australia, right?
Yes,
obviously,
it's Australia.
Kangaroos. Yeah, I want to know if it's the one I'm thinking of because that was a dumb movie.
I
it is. It's Anthony. What's his name? Oh yeah, and Jerry O'Connell's in Anthony Anderson and Jerry O'Connell. I don't know who Estelle Warren is.
Yeah,
some girl.
Oh, Christopher Walken. Interesting. Yeah, but my friends were so outraged that Jerry Bruckheimer did Kangaroo Jack. I'm like, I don't care that he did it. I just saw the trailer and didn't want to watch it.
There's just a point in time where you become so big where you're just making movies to make money.
Well, yeah, it's almost like the Adam Sandler effect. It's just like,
it really is.
Like you watch the trailer for an Adam Sandler movie and you're just like, that looks like garbage. I'm not going to watch that. And then you see another one and you're like, hey, that one looks good. I'm going to watch that.
Yep, Jerry Bruckheimer right there.
Hey.
So yeah, whenever you pull out like a producer or whatever, and I'm like, I'm mad props to you. I'm never. He could tell me that Jerry Bruckheimer did Star Wars. I'm like, sure, that adds up.
That checks. All right, Criddle, where do you land with Red and Pirates of the Caribbean?
I'm gonna go with Red.
Yeah,
I'm not sad about that.
I just really like Red.
If it was Red 2, then I'd probably go with
Oh
Pirates.
yes, I would too. Ooh, this will be fun to watch you guys. Star Wars 4 and Bullet Train.
Okay, I know where. Okay, so Jimmy, just put your bullet train in.
I'm sorry, but most things against Star Wars would win.
Okay, so here's where it would be. I would be so on board if this was Empire Strikes Back.
Oh man, yeah.
But because for me, it goes Empire Strikes Back #1, A New Hope #2.
Yep.
I will do Return of the Jedi 3.
Yep.
And #4, controversial.
Rogue One?
Okay, sorry. I forgot about that one. Rogue One. Then #5, controversial, Phantom Menace, because of the lightsaber scene at the very end.
The Phantom Menace. That's the original.
episode
I mean, that's
one.
number one.
Uh-huh.
Really? You
I-
like the one with Darth Maul?
It's boring to me.
No.
No, sorry. Darth Maul is number one.
Yeah, small.
Yeah, but I thought that's what you were saying. The lightsaber scene.
Yeah.
That's the one you like?
Yes.
Okay.
I love it. It is like that lightsaber scene destroys the Clone Wars and whatever the third Rise of the Sith or whatever it's called, the third one. Like, I don't care about either one of those. Just fast forward me to the lightsaber scene and I will watch that and repeat. And that makes that movie far superior than any of the other ones.
Do you want to hear my blasphemy of order?
Sure.
Rogue One.
Not a
Okay.
sponsor.
Rogue One is number one. And probably number two is number three. What is that one called?
Revenge of the
Revenge
Sith?
of the Sith.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then from there, I don't really know. Mandalorian is number one if that's going to be counted, but because Mandalorian is freaking awesome.
Okay.
It's freaking sweet.
I know one of the. I mean, this another tangent with Star Wars: Phantom Menace. The soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. John Williams did a great job.
That is probably the best thing of Phantom Menace, aside from maybe the lightsaber scene in the end. Oh, but we're not talking about that. We're keeping on track with.
So, yeah, because I do love A New Hope, but Bullet Train Man. Oh,
When you said Bullet Train Man.
The
Bullet
sequel.
Train Man.
I mean, I rewatched it the other day and I just get a kick out of that opening scene where Brad Pitt is arguing with Sandra Bullock
Mhm.
on the phone. And then, of course, you have that first moment where he goes to leave the train and he meets the Mexican guy
Mm-hmm.
and he's just like, who are you? And then you get the whole backstory. Oh, I have to go Bullet Train.
Okay, so I have not seen Bullet Train, but I've seen the trailer.
But I've seen people who have seen Bullet
I've
Train.
And
seen
you
people-
voted for it as like the best movie of 2022.
Exactly. And so I'm going for Bullet Train right now.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
All right. And then to wrap that one up, we have Red versus Bullet Train.
Okay, Bullet Train. I'm sorry. I love Bullet
The
Train.
pig won't save you.
I think I'm going Red. So it sounds like Criddle, you're going.
Yeah, I'll go Bullet Train.
You're
all the way.
going Bullet Train all the way. Okay, I'm not hurt by it at all. All right. And we will
Pause it right there.
stay tuned for our next episode where we will discuss the last section of this bracket. And then the following will conclude it all.
Yeah, the final four and the grand champion of action movies.
The final countdown. All right, let's move on to our recommendations. I'm going to just start off because I've already mentioned it a billion times. I mean, Mandalorian started over again. I love Mandalorian. I'm only on episode 2 of this 3rd season. It is definitely not as good as like season 1 and possibly season 2, but it is still great. Love me some Mando.
I was wanting to watch it, and then I found out that I had to watch Boba Fett. I'm like, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, Boba Fett. I don't know if I've already told you this, but like 4 episodes in, it just becomes the Mandalorian show all over again. Like Boba Fett, sometimes it's not even in a couple episodes.
So it's kind of like Moon Knight. Moon Knight occasionally featuring Moon Knight.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So Boba Fett occasionally featuring Boba Fett.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Okay, I'll go next. My recommendation, full circle, is a public service announcement. Just make sure you get your vents checked for your drying machine.
Oh, and now you know. All right, I'm gonna go with so after I leave here, I'm gonna go home, grab something to eat, and then at 12:30, I'm going to see Shazam 2.
Ooh, I didn't even realize it's out.
My recommendation is go see Shazam 2 because I've already deemed it as
The best movie.
2023 best movie of the year.
Certified fresh.
That's bold.
Bold move, Cotton.
Yep, bold move. I'm just curious. Are you going to be hurt if I look this up right now?
Nope.
Okay. I just want to see what Shazam is. The Fury of the Gods.
Yep. And I already know the spoiler appearance. So
Oh, I have no idea.
Me
So
too.
6.7 is a good range for IMDb.
yeah.
What does Rotten Tomatoes do it? Is it in the good range for Rotten Tomatoes?
You know what? If the critics hate it, then it's going to be even better. So I'm rooting for the critics to hate Shazam too.
Let's see here.
I think the critics are just
Oh
comic
no!
book fatigue.
Oh, that's popular streaming movies. Okay, I thought it was the. Go away, ad. Where are you? I have to do it. What? No, leave me alone.
That is so weird. Where click out just completely.
I can't.
Really?
Continue. Oh, right there.
Oh, there
They
it is.
hide it.
That was rude.
That was rude. I'm just gonna type in Shazam because I think that's the other Shazammer.
Yeah, that's the first one.
Okay. Do.
Oh, right. The critics hate it, so it is going to be good.
Oh, but yeah, look at that. Look at the audience scores. 85%.
85%. I'm going to be
Rotten.
enjoying myself, and because the critics are at 54%, it is at 6.7, and the critics have it at 54, which to me is in the happy zone of an enjoyable movie.
Just looking at this, 92%.
John Wick 4, that's out already?
No, I don't think it's out yet. I think these are
Pre-screened.
pre-screened. But yeah, that I can't believe it's already 74 reviews and 92% from critics. Because I imagine you just don't kind of see that stuff from John Wick.
Yeah, it'd be kind of interesting to see what the previous John Wick stuff would be, because it's actually, John Wick is actually good. Like, yeah, I guess
86, 89, 89, 92. Man, it worked its way up.
I guess,
I don't see that though.
I guess with the critics, every stop broken clock is right.
Yep.
Once a day.
Except I don't believe that it, goes in that direction. They're saying every John Wick, it got progressively better a little bit.
Well, the funny thing about it is like I've owned all three of them forever. I can't remember. I think I've seen 1 and 2. I've owned 3. I still haven't seen 3. So one of these days I'm gonna have to.
3 is probably in my mind the worst one.
Oh, okay.
In my mind, I could get lost here forever. I'm kind of surprised that Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile is 55%. It was a good movie.
Zac Efron's in that movie.
Yeah, he's Ted Bundy.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what the subtitles of that movie were. I knew it existed, but I'm like, yeah, okay, that checks.
Yeah, good movie. All right. We'll see you